Broke. Welcome to the Broke podcast. My name is Danny, and today we are going to talk about a whole lot of stuff for this new year, 2022. I know it's been like 2 or 3 weeks already, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the first episode of the year, and we have a lot of things that we have in store planned for this new year. But before we get to that, of course, I have to thank our amazing guest, Kevin Toms, for being on the podcast last month for our Christmas special. He was an amazing guest and an amazing person, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes, thank
um,
you, Kevin.
yeah, absolutely. If you guys haven't seen the episode, please go check it out. It's a little over half an hour of a lot of great insight into the life of legendary video game developer who did not think he would be able to make a career out of developing video games just because of how games how the video game industry was not even kind of a thing at that time. But yeah, go check it out. Amazing story, amazing franchise that he built, and I think you guys gonna love it.
Cool.
So on to today's episode. First and foremost, Tyler, how are you today?
Not bad. No, I just I wanted I wanted to make sure that due credit was given to Kevin for the last podcast that we did. So I thought it'd be better for like for you to open up rather than for me to open up as it usually is as usually is the case. But yeah, I mean, Kevin, thanks again for being on the podcast last time. It's really cool having high profile individuals such as yourself on there. So really do appreciate that. I think the next
Mhm.
order of businesses we were going to talk about just kind of like updates that has happened in like the Broklahoma sphere, right?
Yeah. What can we start off with?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can get into it. It's the first and foremost, right?
Right.
I got myself a new job, and
Nice.
this
Nice.
this job is really freaking cool, guys. And so for this audience that's listening right now, startups. Are you guys familiar with startups? You guys know what a startup is? A startup is like a smaller company with a great idea that just wants to grow in size and take that idea to scale and become like a bigger company, kind of like a Spotify or like a Zillow or something like that, where you have like a great idea and then you want to take that and scale it. Well,
Mhm.
I'm working at a startup accelerator now, which is basically an organization that takes companies like those with great ideas and then gets them connected to funding. It's really cool because the Broke Homies podcast idea was like, how can you monetize your passions? Well, there you go. Now my entire job is based around monetizing my passion. So what a great way to start out the year. I'll be doing a lot of different episodes related to venture capital, funding, startups, and my new job itself over the course of the next year. But yeah, just keep in tune for that because I'll be doing more full episodes on that topic. This is just kind of an introduction, letting you guys know that your boy's out here hustling and like
Yes. Yes.
getting new things to work on. But besides that, man, Danny, like, what kind of new stuff has been happening on your end?
Not a whole lot. I am still working with Nick Sadler on the label machine. That's been just an amazing experience for me, and I look forward to this year continue working with him and like expanding the platform. Just seeing how many more young entrepreneur, well, I shouldn't say like young because not everybody in there is necessarily young, but they do have a entrepreneurial uh, nature and an ambition to fulfill their goals in the music industry by you know starting and growing their record labels, the independent
Hmm.
labels. So I really look forward to be continue to be a part of that platform. And
Ecosystem. Hmm.
yeah, and just serving these people uh, that are making music, and they're without any support from major labels and from huge
For sure.
budgets. You know,
For sure.
so it's maybe some labels that probably would benefit from a little venture capital.
Perhaps, perhaps. Well, it's funny that you mentioned like this is something that you want to do going forward over the course of the next year, because that's actually precisely what we're going to talk about today, right? What you're going to do over the course of the next year, New Year's resolutions.
Yep.
Um, well, this is the topic of the video. You know, when it comes to New Year's resolutions, I think we all understand it as new year, new me. I might have had a shitty year last year, or I had a great year, but I want to have a better year than I did last year,
Yeah.
and this new year. So that's kind of the idea with New Year's resolutions, where it's like, yeah, well, everything that's already happened is just water under the bridge. Let's set some new goals, and tackle what we're going to work on with kind of like a renewed sense of like of ourselves, basically. But that's kind of what New Year's resolutions are known for, but they get kind of a bad rap, huh? Like in
Hmm.
modern culture, where you know I see the appeal, right? The appeal for New Year's resolutions is just that you want to go ahead and start setting new goals, and kind of separate yourself from the you of 2020 or the you of 2021, and like the 2022 version of you is going to be different from who you were before. But the
Right.
difference is that you have to make a strong commitment with achievable goals. Um, in order to actually know what you're working towards and know when you've achieved it. It's goal setting like anything else. If you don't have a proper achievable goal with a demarcated point that it serves as an indicator that you've achieved the goal, then if you don't have that, then you don't really have a resolution. You really have more of an ambition or an idea. You don't really have a resolution or a goal at that point, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have any milestones, anything to that can be measurable goals. You just
Very,
have
very much so.
an aspiration of like sort of where you want to be,
Roughly,
very
it's kind of
roughly.
like, oh, I feel fat right now, and I don't want to be fat. Get some numbers on there. It's like, we're gonna like Danny and I are gonna share our quote unquote resolutions, or like our goals for the year. Because the thing is, we do think that it's it's an idea that has merit, because starting off the new year with like good new goals is definitely a good thing to do. It's just like it's good to establish those numbers. But I'll share one of my resolutions, and I'll share the rest of them later. But my one of my goals this year, right, one of my resolutions, so to speak, is to hit 10% body fat at 200 pounds body weight. That's pretty lean. 10% body fat. I've heard a lot of people say that it's pretty uncomfortable because you have to modify your diet quite a bit, and I eat like trash. So that's gonna involve. I mean, like you remember Danny? Like we used to just eat like Subway sandwiches, like a bunch of raccoons, basically, just like scavenge around for food.
Yeah.
Uh, and my diet hasn't changed that much from college, so yeah, I think it's going to involve a lot of that kind of stuff. But you know, we were talking about tangibles and achievable statistics and numbers, but 10% of body fat, 200 pounds body weight. I'll know exactly when I've achieved that, because at the point at which I've achieved that, I am 10% body fat at 200 pounds body weight. That is a very tangible goal. And Danny's set up a couple of tangible goals too. Would you mind sharing some of the goals and kind of like your thought process as to why you set those goals?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're not gonna set goals that you can trace like a roadmap in order to achieve those goals, where you have milestones, where you have indicators and sort of checkpoints where you can tell, where you can basically break down those goals into smaller goals. You're really in trouble. I don't think you're gonna be able to get to where you want in the span of time that you want. Um, that being said, you know, even the goals that I have right now, they're sort of broad. The goal is there. The measurability is there. It's just
Hmm.
I haven't gone into like how am I actually gonna get there exactly, but that's something that in order to discover you need to have the measurable goal, and the
Yes.
measurable is the key word there. So
I've heard it referred to as like a North Star, for example, just like a point of reference that you have to work towards.
exactly, yeah, because once you have that, everything is a lot clearer. The path to that goal is a lot clearer.
Hmm.
So for me, one of my goals is getting a full-time job. I've been doing this freelance stuff for a while now, and I feel confident that I have the skill set and the experience necessary to move into a more solid, more stable um, kind of job. N- I don't plan on stopping doing freelancing. I think that's freelancing is especially in the times that we live in, being able to do freelancing is a great plus, because remote work, uh, you can easily be having projects with companies that are not even necessarily in your country, let alone in your city, in your of residence. You know, the it's a big world out there, so we definitely have to study all the possibilities. That's my philosophy.
Hmm.
But yeah, getting a full time job is one of my goals. That's more of that's the professional goal, kind of.
It's like the career, the corporate goal, rather.
Yeah, for this year. Yeah, that's my goal on that area. On other areas, well, that how am I going to say? It doesn't, just because it's not a career goal doesn't mean that it is not monetizable and that is not profitable.
100%. Yeah.
And I think you'll see that with the other goals that I have. One of them being getting my first 100 followers on Medium,
Hmm.
and that's just for the people who are listening. I just recently started Medium, started writing on Medium. I think it was like last month that I wrote my first stories. And obviously it's not going to grow in a week, in a month. It's going to take time, but consistency is key here, and 100 followers is a pretty important number, just because that's when you start. That's one of the requirements to become a a member, like that gets money from writing on Medium
Oh, like
and
it's like a
from
share
the
of it.
reads. Yeah, you get like a
Oh,
percentage
I
depending
you know
on.
I never realized that you had to reach 100 followers in order to get to that point. I learned something new today.
Yeah, I also think that's a fairly recent
Advancement.
requirement.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I guess because just they want to, when they want to pay to the people who are writing there. they don't want to like have to pay like $1 and something to for a guy that gets like 50 reads and only has like 7 followers.
Yeah,
That's
the smaller transactions are very much not worth the time, especially if they have to like do all the work and make the infrastructure for having to distribute that kind of money.
yeah.
Um, that
They
makes
would
sense.
be
Even
losing money too because of the transaction fees of the
for sure.
platform.
And
you know
Anchor has a requirement like that too. Is like with Anchor, I believe whenever because like like for everyone in the podcast, like there's a paid advertisement in our podcast where we promote Anchor. Now we think that Anchor is a fantastic fucking platform, which is exactly why we promote it. It's not like we're just
Absolutely.
blowing smoke out our ass, but it's
Yeah.
definitely they have the clause in their monetization piece where you have to I think you have to pay 25 cents whenever you withdraw the money that you've made in ad revenue from Anchor, and I think that's just aimed at offsetting the transaction fee essentially for for like uh whenever they transfer the money to your account.
Right.
So Anchor has a piece like that too. It makes sense that that Medium would also have like some sort of requirement to like a bar to entry basically before you can start making money. So that does make sense. Um, so
Yeah. And
I think
and
you had one more
yeah,
goal, right?
finally, my last goal for this year, overarching goal, is to launch my own music project or artist label. I'm still kind of measuring the ups, the pros and cons of like they're essentially the same thing, I guess. But yeah, that's yeah, and like once again, it's just because it's not a career thing. I don't. Yeah, I'm at least at this point. I'm not seeing as a career goal in music, but I do see it as an opportunity for income. For besides all um, the the joy that I would get out of making music and being the creative outlet that it is, it can also be a very profitable uh, opportunity if done right. And I think
Yes.
that with my experience helping other uh, independent labels and music projects in the label machine, obviously not as just as a media manager, not as somebody who has founded labels previously, but I work with the person who's done that, who wrote the book on starting your own record label. So I feel confident that this is a goal worth pursuing in this year. Uh, and yeah, I don't, I don't know if
Well,
what you think of that, but
yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, no, first of all, I want to say that you've been talking about this music project for quite a while,
it's true.
and you've been thinking about like, okay, I need this kind of equipment, that kind of equipment, what I need to buy, how much time do I need to allocate, you've been talking about this for a while, so it'll be putting it on paper and making it a goal to actually launch the project that you've been talking about for so long. I think that's awesome. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's actually your metric, your achievable metric right there, right? Is like whenever you launch your music project, like you like when you launch your first piece, or what exactly is like the point at which you've accomplished that goal?
Yeah, I think the measurable goal or the thing that will confirm that the goal has been achieved is once I have my first release.
Good.
And
Okay.
yeah, it's just the process. There's a lot going in the background, and that goes into to leading up to that point. Is what I'm saying. But
Okay.
yeah,
Yes.
that's it. The first release will be the defining factor. Yeah, here it is. Nobody can take it away from you. It's out there, and that's the confirmation that you've succeeded in launching your own music project. Then
Okay.
again, and just to finish, like you mentioned, my struggles. I've been talking about this a lot, and not having the right equipment, etc., etc. I think one of the things that's really helped, being in the label machine and uh, listening to a lot of stuff that Nick Sadler has said about starting your own label, is is thinking thinking of it like how a label would approach it, and instead of like you yourself being doing all the things, um like just my idea is focus on the things that you can actually do well, and try
Yes.
to connect with people who do the rest well, the things that you can do uh well, connect with those people, and yeah,
Ooh, it's
work
actually
with them.
that's a spicy piece that you mentioned there because that's actually one of the things that I'm gonna have to talk about a lot in my new job. So I'm gonna be talking to a lot of startup founders and CEOs, and that's
Yeah.
like a byproduct of the new position that I have. But in that, we're gonna talk. I'm gonna be having a lot of conversations with CEOs about letting go and delegating tasks, and that is definitely one thing that you have to do whenever you get into like whenever you start something that requires a lot of different moving parts. It's
Hmm.
important to make sure that you have other people around you that can do things that you're not good at, so that you can focus on the things that you really are good at and double down, triple down. Triple down is tripling down on stuff. I think that was a Gary Vaynerchuk, like
Uh-huh.
the influencer. Like, you guys know Gary V. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a thing that he talked about. I saw in like a LinkedIn post something somewhere or something, where he was like, make sure that if you have something that you're good at, you don't double down on those goals. You double down on those. You triple down on those. If you're good at something, then make sure that you work on those. Don't try to make up for the things that you're not good at. Make sure that you focus on things that you really are good at and become the best at it, which I think is a great philosophy, and that's kind of it seems like that's kind of what you're trying to do here with the label, is making sure that you do what you're the best at, and then finding ways, finding people that can fill the gaps of your ability. Is that fair?
That's no, that's exactly it. Like, I know my skill set, I know what I can do well, and the things that where someone else would do better than me
Mm-hmm.
and would save me a lot of time. So I'm definitely looking forward to collaborating with other people to get fulfill that part that I can't do well,
Definitely.
instead of stretching myself and trying to do everything by myself and not having the results that I could have had if I had delegated or collaborated with
Yeah.
other people. Because it
Yes.
is it is like a very appealing mentality, doing it all yourself.
Being
Uh,
Superman, it sounds fun, doesn't it?
yeah, one man army.
Yeah.
It was all me, all me, all me. But realistically, how many
Very Kanye
people?
attitude.
Yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. But realistically, like Kanye, like he he's on a major label, probably.
I mean, the
Like
man makes
he,
whatever label he's on.
I guess. But realistically, like how many of those artists that style themselves as self-made, how many of them are actually like doing everything by themselves? Very little. Like, and the same goes, I guess, to startups as well. It's because you need people. You need a team.
You
You
absolutely
know,
need a team. And
to
case in point, like to the listeners, when it comes to marketing related stuff, if you see any short video or like any sort of like fancy clip, 99.9% chance that it was Danny that made it, because I don't know shit when it comes to that. So yeah, I mean, like, this podcast is possible because Danny's a part of the podcast. If I was talking on here, y'all wouldn't see anything on Instagram. You just see like a screenshot of me or some shit like that, and subsequently there'd just be like a audio bit release with just me doing a monologue for 30 minutes, basically. So, thank Danny for saving you for that level of fucking boredom.
Dude.
So,
No,
uh,
but it is like
yeah,
everything needs a backup plan, somebody you can share the load with, you know.
very much
It's
so.
yeah.
So, I want to talk about some of the resolutions, because I think we want to see, we're like 26 minutes into the podcast. Let's see. I'm gonna go through my resolutions real quick. They're real short and sweet. So I already told you guys about the hit 10% body fat at 200 pounds body weight. But because I have a new job, I'm gonna go over this more work related goal. But I want to exceed my yearly quota for my new job, because technically, like, my job is kind of sales, kind of not. It's like I'm both like an interviewer and a salesperson at the same time. But yeah, so I want to exceed my yearly quota by the end of October. And the reason
Wow.
being for that is, like, November and December are slow months. So if you don't hit your numbers, it's harder to hit your numbers during those 2 months. So I'd
Hmm.
really like to get ahead of the curve by exceeding those numbers by October. So whenever November and December roll around, I'm not freaking the fuck out, and I actually have like time to work on cool things like Broke Lahomies, or my my or going for my other goal, which is to establish a new passive source of income that nets me $10 monthly. And you know what, guys? I'll be honest, $10 monthly does not sound like a lot,
Hmm.
but what's important is making sure that you have something that's getting you money that could grow and eventually net you more money monthly. So an example
Absolutely.
of that might just be like, it could even be like investments in terms of stocks. Like right now, like, with the stocks that I'm investing in, some of them give dividends. So that's something that I do get paid monthly for, is just like money as an investor in a specific stock. So I could go that route where I'm making, like, $30 a quarter in dividends, which would translate to you know to achievement. Oh, sorry, 10% monthly, which is like achievement of the goal that I just discussed here. But
Hmm.
that's kind of the idea. Is like, eventually I want to, like, get to a point where I don't have to work if I don't want to. But you guys know me. I'm gonna be working until the day I fucking die. It's just the idea of being able to do the things that I just purely want to do, instead of having to do it for the sake of like, just making money. That would be awesome. And you guys have heard my spiel on the whole, like retire early, passive income thing. I feel like that's kind of like a pretty cliche thing that people talk about nowadays, but it is a very attractive idea. So I'd like to start working towards that. But
Hmm.
yeah, so, make sure that whenever you guys are setting your health goals for the week, whenever you go to the gym, you know, don't be the guy that doesn't know how to fucking use the machines. It's you know it's embarrassing to ask people how to use the machines for the first time, but I guarantee you, right? If the people at your gym are half as decent, like, and half as nice as the people at my gym, if you ask them how to use a machine, they will tell you how to use a machine and give you details. Make sure to just ask questions to any random guy. As long as he's not like super scary and looks like he's gonna like murder your entire family, then you might not want to talk to that guy. But like, most gym rats are actually super nice, because they go to the gym and they have like they're working out, and people that work out tend to be like mentally healthier as well. So
True.
definitely make sure to ask those people. Look stupid for a couple of minutes asking someone a question on how to how to use a machine instead of using the machine the wrong way if you're not sure how like a gym machine works. So that's my little bit on that. And you might actually make a friend in the process too. That's another thing, is that if you ask for instructions, you might end up, like trading numbers with somebody. I don't know. Hell, you might even find like a girlfriend, boyfriend, or some shit. That'd be cool.
There you go.
But
I'm pretty sure that's actually how a lot of hookups start. Is in the
at the
gym.
gym,
Yeah.
probably, yeah. So, hey, can I
Right.
spot you, babe? Oh yeah. Oh, that bench looks a little heavy. Oh, 40. Very much so.
Can you help me
Okay,
stretch?
on the other end of the spectrum, don't be the fucking douche that is like, hey, can I spot you, babe? Definitely don't do that either. But like try to make friends. That's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, there's no issue with like approaching other people at the gym. It's just if you do it in a creepy way,
yeah.
there's no place for that fucking anywhere. Just don't be a
No,
creep in general.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know you had some words of encouragement, Danny, for the people out there. That's kind of like a closing thought. But can you kind of like
Yeah,
let everyone know what your hopes are for them, and then like close the video out after that?
yeah, for sure, for sure. I just, I think here, um, as a way of parting words for this episode,
Hmm.
final thoughts is just, you know, realize what really are your strengths, what really moves you, what in terms of your interests, your ambitions,
Mm,
etc. Try to make them as measurable as possible.
mm,
It's and as tangible as possible. Obviously,
yeah,
there are things that are beyond the reach, or that are just not feasible within a year. Because this is a New Year's
sure, sure.
it's a resolution
And
for the year.
you alluded to that a second ago too, because you said, hey, set steps to achieving like miniature goals on your way to achieving a bigger goal, which is pretty much what you're talking about here, it seems like. And and the earlier point,
Yeah,
you're talking about things that you're good at versus the things that you like to do. It's like it's really important to find things that are the cross section of what you're good at and what you enjoy, and then doing that. And for me, that was sales. I really like don't get me wrong, like there's other things I'd rather be doing than like pitching people on a product all day long. But I
right.
do enjoy
Yeah,
it, and I am really fucking good at it. So that's actually a place where it's like a crossroads, where it's like it's not the thing that I'm the best at in the world. I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty damn good at it. Uh, no, actually, scratch that. I think that sales might be my like upon further review. Actually, sales might be something the thing that I'm the single best at. I could be
your
wrong.
true calling, what you were born to
M-
be.
might be, but it definitely isn't the thing that I would most prefer to be doing. I do like doing it, but the fact that it's both something that I like doing and both something that I'm good at. That's precisely what I found in sales, and it's something that I like Danny was alluding to a second ago. You should definitely
Yeah,
find set measurable goals for and make sure that you achieve those goals, so that
yeah,
um, whatever value you can provide to the world, you provide it in a tangible and meaningful way to everybody, right?
absolutely. Yeah, and then just one last thing, which I
Hmm.
think you've kind of alluded to it before, is with the whole thing of having resolutions and then forgetting about them, or like, is to have accountability, which is basically
Yeah,
what we're doing right
absolutely.
now when we're mentioning our resolutions.
Yeah, give us shit if we don't achieve our goals, guys. Like, just be like, what the fuck, dude? I thought you were gonna set up a passive income stream of $10 monthly. If I don't do that, give me shit.
Yeah, where's the music?
Yeah, where's
Danny,
the fucking music, Daddy?
where's the 100 followers on Medium? It's only 99 yet. But
I'm
yeah,
not.
that's the thing. You find people who will hold you accountable for those goals. You know, who you trust to encourage you to be helping you rather than deterring you from achieving those goals. You know,
Yeah,
because it is important to have that group that
group
of people.
accountability,
Yeah.
100%. Well, there's that. There's our resolutions for the year, how to achieve those resolutions, and we've already set accountability for everybody. But yeah, I mean, this is this is the Broke Homies podcast. This is what we're here to talk about. Here to talk about things that make you better and things that you can do to monetize your passions and make sure that you can keep working on them in the meaningful way. But yeah,
Well,
Danny, do you
yeah.
have like what's the word of the day that you're gonna use to close out the close out the call?
Downing Street, just cause Boris Johnson and the parties. Partygate, yeah. There you go.
There you go.
I did that.
All right. I'll see y'all.